P.C. Sriram worked entire the present day scenes with the professor, with the heroine, the fights, the introduction of the hero, everything is worked. And now we have to go to the time machine part where the time machine was built. Mr. P.K.T. Ranga was specially selected by me to be the art director, and he made a beautiful model of the time machine before we went to the set. How, where the steps go, how it's a spherical model, and the original black and white time machine where it goes on a vertical axis, that's what I selected. The shooting had to go to the time machine, then the takeoff. After the takeoff, we go to the Krishnadeva Raya place. So we wanted to go in order, because once we finish the entire social thing, this is over, we go to the costume picture, costume scenes. At that time, P.C. Sriram became very sick. Suddenly there was some problem in his stomach. There was virus and it was a very serious condition. He was taken to the hospital and he was very sick. I do not know what happened. It was a very sick atmosphere. They say something with the gastric problem, something in the stomach. I do not know if it was liver or kidney. I did not know, but they said he was very sick. And his mother was very strict. She was very much worried, and she wanted him not to work at all. We do not want any of this work. For 1 year or 2 years, you take rest, be in the house. We do not want you to work. You are very sick. So she was there, and she did not anybody, the producer or the director, anybody to enter the house, because she said they will come and disturb her son. So we also respected her anxiety and we kept away. But now P.C. Sriram said, sir, at this time I will not be able to work because I am sick. My mother will not allow, the doctors will not allow. He could not. It is a small period in which he was sick. So we could not force him to do anything. There is nothing else we could do. So we were searching who should do. Then suddenly one Mr. V.S.R. Swami, a very, very senior cameraman, he was available. And fortunately, he was available for those days for which we had the Krishnadeva Raya, the main set, the chambers, all those periods, those 2 months, about 15 days, 20 days here and 15 days, he was available. And next, he was supposed to take some other picture. Exactly those are dates we want. We fixed those dates. We told Mr. Balakrishna, call those dates. And we got the set erected. It was a full floor set. Originally, we wanted to go to Chandragiri and shoot in the actual palace there. But the Chandragiri was very inconvenient. Now it's a museum. It's a small place, very difficult for lighting. And except that it has got a documentary feeling, realistic, real lighting is not possible. We have to build so many things they will not allow. And even if you allow, we will not have that sort of a control over the lighting. So we thought we take a floor and build the set in Annapurna Sonios, P.K.T. Ranga, built a set. And we had a floor. We did not know what sort of a floor Krishnadeva Raya had. Apart from that, it is a fantasy, we wanted to have our own floor. I had seen a film called Don Juan, a Hollywood film, where Errol Flynn acted. There was a particular green shade of the floor. What material they used as Don Juan is working to visit the king, reflections will be there. It is not granite, it is not marble, it is some sort of a different material what they used. It was very nice, and I told Mr. P.K.T. Ranga and Mr. V.S.R. Swami, I showed him the film and said, this sort of flooring if you have got, it will be very good. And they get their own lacquer, thinners, and they had all the usual brown purpose flooring they do with designs. They got the shade, they tried to mix so many things, but the exact shade they are not able to get. It is difficult. Probably they would have experimented, they would have done so much of research to get that shade. So I was trying to get as much shade. So V.S.R. Swami said, instead of going for some other odd shade, we will find another shade. And they found another type of green or purple, which suited very well. It has its own brilliance, and we put that. Only thing is here, if you want to have reflections, it becomes dull here, this sort of a lacquer. I do not know how they made it bright. So we had to wash with water. Nearly 6 boys were there ready just before the take. They will dry off. All 3 boys from this way, 3 boys from that side. It's a long shot. They will be just washing with the water, with wet cloth. Then reflection will be there. Then the shot will be taken before the water dries off. It's a thin layer. Take a cloth and just wash it like that. Not water fully, but just water. So like that we got the glass and we got the reflections, and all those shots were taken in that way also. Everything there was a reflection coming, every angle it was there, unless it's a half figure shot. So Mr. Somayajulu did the Timmarsu, Mr. Chandramohan did Tenali Ramakrishna. It was a great fun. Krishna Devarayala, again Mr. Balakrishna. There is an interaction, the satire, everything was there. How a modern person and how the 15th century Krishna Devaraya people, how they look after this. And this V.S.R. Swami's work is over. The Krishna Devaraya's period was over. So Vikram Dharma was the action master for Aditya 369, and there were also a number of horse chase scenes. Balakrishna is an excellent horse rider. So we had the lot of chases, and particularly I wanted one sequences where the cameraman has to have a steady cam and he should shoot between the ears of the horse. So he must be riding on a horse with a steady cam. With the ears of the horse, he should be chase with Balakrishna. Now there is a steady cam operator was one Mr. Deepan Chatterjee. He is a Bengali. Very interesting. He is a music man. He is a music director, and he is a specialist in sound effects. The Aditya 369 time machine takeoff sound effects was provided by Deepan Chakravarti. Very, very modern, very, very futuristic. That sort of sound effects Deepan Chatterjee gave for that. So much so when Ilayaraja saw it in the re-recording, he said, let the sound effects are so good, let them be like that. I will give music after the takeoff. Until the takeoff, he did not disturb the sound effects at all. Such was Deepan Chatterjee's sound effects. So this Deepan Chatterjee was holding the camera, and the horse rider was there holding Deepan Chatterjee, and the horse was going and he just moved and Balakrishna was there. Such shots also was taken. It was slightly risky for Deepan Chatterjee, but he did it. He was a great enthusiast. So like that Sri Krishna Devaraya's period was over. So after that, who should be the future? Our Kabir Lal. So after Krishna Devaraya, the gap, the futuristic was to be done by whom? Finally we selected on Kabir Lal, who did masks for Michael Madana Kamarajan. Now to do a futuristic city or a futuristic road, because we had scenes like at that time there is no traffic, the whole city is underground because of the nuclear explosion. The city is underground, but still all traffic is only by air. There is no cars. Instead of cars, small cars like things will be going in the air here and there like roads. There is no traffic, they are only walking. So all these atmospheres, how are we to go? And some buildings are there, police station. The police station should be a futuristic police station. The museum, it should be a futuristic police station. Whatever building we say, it will not be there. And for one shot, Kabir did a very interesting thing. There was an established corridor, one veranda, already available set, and there was another small room. We made it the police station. It is a regular police station, it is an old set. But what he did is, he made the art director paste silver paper. Silver paper, all the walls. Throughout the walls there was silver paper. Throughout on the floor it was silver paper. So when the light was put, it was just dazzling. We did not where it was come. Silver paper was not visible. So very interesting way they were coming, the policemen were coming, all that. It's all lights. Somewhere, where very few lights they put, only when there is light, there is a light. Some interior, they're futuristic. So it was a very simple idea, simple mechanism, and he created great effects. The P.C. Sriram liked it very much. The thought to use silver paper to make it futuristic. Sriram liked it very much. So this is Kabir Lal's, he is a very inventive cameraman. And we had glass, and on the glass we had different layers, and we had great architecture photographs pasted there, and we used to take a focus. In Hollywood, most of these things done by matte painting. I saw a big hall of cardboard boxes. I think Indiana Jones somewhere. They are all matte painting. Later I found which area is matte painting, which way it is real. Only one row of cardboard boxes was real, because huge thing. They could have done it. I don't know why they did it on matte painting, but the whole thing was matte painting. The lighting, everything is so photorealistic. It looks real. Small shot. So everything is done on matte painting. We could do some hills, valleys. We can take still photographs and put it there. But futuristic buildings, I did not know how to do. So we adopted this method, our own method, and it worked well. It worked very well because the lighting perspective is all interior lit of a futuristic buildings. Those photographs we have taken. At that time, 3 people from Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, that is all Spielberg's thing, all the people who Spielberg's films they did, ILM, that is the top people of the special effects. They came and they wanted to visit Vahini Studios. And when we were going, and they wanted, and finally they came to this particular point we are doing in Vahini Studios. When they came here, Vahini Studios, they saw all the studios. They said one of the biggest studios at the time, and we were doing this effect. They just came to visit us. We invited them. We were doing the special effects, but we did not want to show this because we do not know how they will laugh at us. We are doing these crude methods of putting photographs instead of sophisticated matte paintings. We did not want to show them. So we, myself, Balakrishna, Kabir, we all went out and we showed them around the studio. And we asked, how exactly you do when you want to match such things? Everything we do in matte painting? They slowly come out. No, we do matte paintings rarely, but there is a very time consuming process because it takes a lot of time to create a matte. So what we usually do is, we have got a lot of National Geographic magazines. From there we cut National Geographic prints, very good prints, put it in a car, and shifting focus we do. What exactly we were doing, they were doing. We did not know that. We thought we were very primitive and they were very sophisticated. Exactly they are doing. Then exactly we are doing the same thing. Will you come and see? Then we took all the 3 people inside our floor. Exactly what we do. Then we have an enlargement of this National Geographic. This is what has happened. And the paintings also, I went to Los Angeles when I saw a set. There was a huge skyscrapers. I was wondering when I saw these films, how so much of realism they were able to get. Absolute, very, very, very good resolution photographs, they just paste. Absolutely good in the windows, even balconies, everything, every city is variable, small bits we add, that's all. The rest is all paintings, not even photographs pasted on the studio properly, that's all. Very simple, simplified, they do. It looks so complicated, so big on the screen, but they achieve it in a very shortcut way. They have achieved it. They have found methods of making it in a very simple way and looking it big. That's what they have done. And how do you get these prints? Where do you get? And they gave about 5 or 6 albums, such thick. We have, see, small photographs. There are thousands of photographs. You select one photograph, immediately we will give a huge print for the entire floor. We will give a print. With that print, we will be moving all that. That's how I think for one of the Spider-Man, all these things were shot in those prints. They made their own prints with that, with small miniature. Very little of CG. CG they use, Not the entire thing is CG. They will be filling up unless the total thing is needed for a CG like Titanic. Because there was this man called Scott Ross. He was the producer of the special effects. He was the chief of special effects at Titanic. So he came to Chennai. When Pentamedia people, they arranged a world conference of special effects people in Chennai for 3 days. So I was also sharing dais with Sujata writer, and Scott Ross was there, and he was detailedly telling how all special effects, the photorealistic men they created in the ship. First, originally they wanted to use junior artists, Mexicans. No, first they wanted to use Americans. But Americans refused to jump that distance, that huge height. From that, we do not want to take risk, we do not jump. Then the producer said, then why don't we use Mexicans? Then James Cameron immediately retarded. If it is dangerous for Americans, it is dangerous for Mexicans also. Just because Mexicans come and do because they are poor, and for your payment they do, you want to put them in a risk. Why can't the Americans do? If the Americans can't do, why should the Mexicans do? Even Mexicans have got the same risk. James Cameron put his foot down and said, how shall we do it? We will go on CG. So all photorealistic images, the people walking in the ship, people jumping, everything is CG. He showed us. Exactly. He showed without the ship, only 3 main artists are coming. That hero, that girl, he is there in the ship. Everything he showed, and where exactly these people are coming and how they are jumping. Absolutely, they are real. Of course, such a minute detail, there are thousands of people working on that. Very minute detail, very great expertise, all that is there, but still it is CG. How they save on human life. So that way they were doing. But that's a later stage. At this stage, even ILM people said only photographs, somehow they were able to match. Finally, when people saw, it looked very futuristic. They did not know, because we cut 2 or 3 different photographs and matched those photographs as per the perspectives. This photograph very near with good focus, slightly out of focus thing, because there is a focus difference. Supposing the very distant thing also is in focus, we will show off our weakness. People will be able to find out, there is a painting, this is a photograph pasted. So without making people know that it is this real photograph, we made it look real. That's why Totathani later, in the set of Madurai Meenakshi temple, he put for one Gunashekar. There is a recent film, few years back it has come. The entire trek he is constructed, and he showed, he put the gopurams in a scale, so that from here you see, it looks a very big gopuram because of the distance, but actually the gopuram size is different. So exactly the scale he made those the sets. So that is how we made all the special effects of the futuristic, and barely with glass, barely with some sort of a lighting, with a very minimum innovative. That is, innovation is the mother of invention. Whatever it is, necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. So when we invent, because necessity, we don't have the funds, so we have to do, we don't have the expertise, and at that time we did not have CG. But within that time, by that time we have to take futuristic sets.
యాత్రలో చల్ 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 జరప మందిలే జంతర్ మంతర్ చెప్పుకో ఎందుకో అడుచుగుండెలో ఘల్ 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 తెలుసుకుంది ఫ్యూచర్ మంజిల్ ఇప్పుడే అందుకో కొత్త కొత్త రంగుల్లో కంటబడ్డ రంగల్లో పుట్టనున్న స్వప్నాలెన్నో లెక్క పెట్టుకో చిలిపి యాత్రలో చల్ 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 జరప మందిలే జంతర్ మంతర్ చెప్పుకో ఎందుకో గుండెలో ఘల్ 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 ఘల్
So with such innovative methods, we finished Aditya 369, and Mr. Amrish Puri was the villain because he had this voice. I did not know how to get his voice, but somehow somebody did it, and Mr. Balasubramaniam did the voice for Tinu Anand as the professor, and this Amrish Puri acted as a big once upon Raja who is mad after collecting old things, that Queen Victoria's crown and somebody's veena, like that he collects, and once anything strange like time machine is there, he wants to collect the time machine. That is the whole plot about it. It's a fun-filled film. The picture was over, but as usual, some things happen. In one of the fights, Mr. Balakrishna, they all go real. At times, slightly it has to be careful with a lot of wires and all that they should take. At times they don't do in emotion, and he got hurt a few 1 or 2 weeks. That was also there. Like Kamal Hassan got hurt in Michael Mazarkar, Balakrishna was hurt. But anyway, all is well that ends well. The picture was over, and it was a sensational hit from all the intelligentsia. Only the futuristic thing, the masses did not understand. They understood, they liked, they enjoyed Sri Krishna Deva Raya because they have already seen that. But what is this going into the future? What exactly is the man? How do you know the future? That the future can be like that. It is a visualization, it is an imagination, that sort of thing. Lot of people did not understand. It is only after 3rd week, 4th week, all the intellectuals like it immensely. It is only after 3rd week they slowly people started telling them what it was, and slowly it grew. And now wherever Mr. Balakrishna goes anywhere in the world, he takes only this cassette, and he is proud of this cassette. He always shows this as his best work. So Aditya 369 had created, this is a novelty. Nobody has made a film on time machine or a science fiction film till now. So the first time a science fiction film is made, and now Balakrishna is so much interested, he wants to make a sequel to this called Aditya 999. So I am also working on that. Sometime in future it may materialize. As it is, it's not on the date, it is not there, but it has created a lot of buzz. This is the story of Aditya 369.